Welcome back. Your genre assignment is now done. Red pen corrected, and you took a screenshot or a photo. And if you've already started your portfolio, you have put that inside of your portfolio under your genre switch. Now we're going to keep working on your student frame. We already put in our student, and so now we are going to write 3 or more strengths around the picture of that student inside of that frame. And so when I think about my student and I look at what I see about that student in class, and then I think about some of those things that maybe drive me crazy, but I think about what skill that really represents, I come up with a student who is imaginative, spontaneous, has a wide focus, and is assertive. And so now I'm going to pick one of these strengths, and I am going to focus on that. And I don't think my animation just worked. So let me go back. And I am going to work on imaginative. So imaginative is my skill, and I am now in play mode, so let me back up. If this was a student video, I may stop that and then re-record it, but I just want you to show how this goes when I'm really making these. So, student frame, we're going to work on identifying student strengths with our student frame project. The directions for this assignment are here. Fill in the top. So on the top of this frame, I want you to write, how do you know the strengths of this student? And for the student I'm thinking about, this student tells stories. This student tells lots of stories. This student sometimes tells stories as long as you will listen to them. And they're very creative stories, and they tell you about what they imagined and what they dreamed and what they told on the bus. And so lots and lots of creative stories. So I know that this child is very, very imaginative and can create a lot of fictional stories with fictional characters and fictional plots and put them together, and very much enjoys that. Sometimes to the point where it drives me a little crazy. On the right side of the student frame, you're going to write, how did the student develop these strengths? And when I look at the student and I listen to the stories they tell, I realize that their peers know about these stories. They tell these stories in the form of like little anecdotes to their peers. You can hear little bits of them in class. Students tell me that they hear about them on the bus. And so I know that this student has this tendency to make up these creative stories, and that all in all, peers tend to love these stories that this student creates. So those are examples for my student. So for your student, write in, how do you know these strengths? What is the evidence that you've seen about these strengths? And then how do you think the student developed these strengths? Now, as we go around this frame and we fill it in, sometimes we don't have all the answers. Sometimes we don't really know how the student developed these strengths. Take your best shot at it. If you really just don't know, then just own that. I really don't know, because